Hey, what's up, guys? You know where we're at, C Fitness and Puyallup. For those of you who saw my yesterday's post on Twitter about reaching 100 followers, that is absolutely awesome. Definitely appreciate all the support. I know I say that a lot on videos, but that was a huge milestone of mine and I appreciate it. Today is upper body day and we're here to get it done. I'm gonna probably do about 7 to 10 exercises today, and I'm gonna again do it just like the last time and put commentary over it. That way, if you're a rookie or maybe you just need a refresher, you can get an understanding of why I do what I do and some of the exercises that I do a little bit differently than everyone else. But we're gonna jump into that. Bench, as always, is the first thing up. We're gonna go right into it. Do it.
All right, like I said, first up we have bench here. It's one of my favorites. It's a classic for a reason. It works your chest, arms, triceps, even shoulders, and it even works on those small muscles that control stability. Now, one thing to consider is that movement, you want to always go down and touch your chest and have a soft lock at the top, focusing on not snapping that elbow into place. Now, bench is a pretty straightforward exercise, but the hardest thing you see in beginners is finding where that bar and chest alignment happens to be. Obviously, depending on how long your arms are or how far you like to sit forward, finding that placement is all going to be user specific. Play around with the distances until you find a good medium and continue to use that over and over to build that consistent strength. Now in this second set, I happen to go 285 just to test my strength in between sets, and I got 4, and that was definitely a struggle, but I dropped the weight right here and I go for a 245, which is still a pretty comfortable weight. Throwing those 10s on just adds that little bit of difficulty, but that's what you need. You got to constantly keep those muscles confused, and increasing the weight will definitely pay off in the long run. Alright, so depending on your goal, your rep and set range is going to be user specific. Hit me up on Twitter or in the comments below if you'd like to know what's an ideal setup for you. I'd be happy to set you up with a good range. Right here we have shrugs, and I like to utilize the bench. It allows you to really good grip without having to pull that weight from a low position or utilize a Smith machine. Now if your gym's really busy, I strongly suggest not doing this on the bench. You will catch some odd stares. The main thing to take away from this is a steady squeeze, raising your traps, shoulders, not utilizing your biceps to squeeze that weight up or jerking your neck around. You'll know when you're getting a good squeeze in your traps if you have minimal neck involvement and your biceps don't get tired. Up next we have seated curls. These ones are my absolute favorite. It allows you to get the best pump throughout your arms with the least amount of back involvement. Now, when you do my workout, you're going to do a lot of upper body exercises, and you want to keep that back as fresh as possible, and this is one thing that really allows that. Things to consider while doing the seated curl are getting a full squeeze on that bicep, making sure that that weight comes all the way up just like it did right there, touching your chest, and minimal lean. You will lean a little bit, and that's acceptable, but you don't want to have to meet that weight halfway. Now I'm going heavy on these. These are 65-pound dumbbells. I like to go really heavy because throughout my routine, you're not going to get a lot of isolation in the bicep. It gets hit secondarily through a lot of different exercises, but I focus really well on the bicep right here, and obviously that's why I go heavy, but I encourage you to take it at a weight that's appropriate for your skill level and go from there. Just as a secondary note, I twist my wrist at the peak to allow that full contraction of the muscle, and it adds a little bit of forearms to the mix as well. Utilizing the rope here, I am doing tricep pull downs, and things to consider while doing this is keeping your elbows tight, not fully extending your wrist at the end for a large flare. When you first start out, you don't want to super exaggerate that motion. You want to focus that squeeze on your triceps and not trying to really flare out the bottom of that rope. Also considering to keep your back straight and not lean into it. You'll see a lot of people try to do a lot of weight and they have to lean a good amount of the top of their torso into it to get that weight to come all the way up to the top. Right here, you're focusing on your triceps, and that should be the main muscle group being activated, not your shoulders and back. To build a good chest, flies are a seriously good exercise, and one of my good friends at this exact gym taught me this one right here, which is varying incline flies. Now on these ones, you'll see that within the next couple sets that the incline of the bench obviously increases as the sets do. Now, considerations for this are using the appropriate weight. This motion is very easy to hurt yourself on, so I of course encourage you to start light and get the form down before you start jumping into heavier weights. Other than that, you want your arms to break a little bit past 180 degrees. That way it gets that tight squeeze on those pecs and puts a lot of good pump throughout those shoulders as well. And you'll see that even my lat towards the tail end is activated as well, just to support the weight. But I encourage you to try this one. It's a definitely good exercise. It breaks up the monotony of standard flies as well, and it's a good one for building a solid chest. Right here on the third set, you're going to notice that my arms aren't fully bent, and there's a reason for that. While at this angle and into the third set, you don't want those elbows to be locked out to 180 degrees. Not only does it make the weight hard to manage, but it puts a lot of pressure on your wrist and your elbow, even your shoulder. So I put just a little bit of a bend in my arm. If they're going to hit you on their form on this one, I mean, that's up to them if they really want to make fun of you for doing 50s on incline flies for 5 sets. But I encourage it. It's a good one to do. You just have to nail down the form. These ones are shoulder extensions, and I've showed these in a video before, but I didn't really explain them all that well. You'll see right here that I extend the weight fully to 180 degrees, maybe a little bit more, and I let the weight swing past my body. And I don't let it swing down, I let it slowly decelerate, also using muscular control on that one as well, which gets you a pretty good pump just by holding the weight. Obviously this side's a little bit easier to see. You can see where I don't let it just pendulum down. I control the deceleration and I don't swing it back up. This one is an awesome exercise. As always, start out light, get that form down, and then once you do, this is going to add another dimension to your shoulders, just because having that stability of your arm holding that weight and the other arm holding the bar lets that pure pump go into your shoulders and your back. This also brings a good point to my routine of the upper lower split. I wanted to do these on the cable machine, but people were on it. But luckily, the benefit of my exercise is that you can do a lot of different exercises a lot of different ways. That variety is what allows you to do seamless transitions from muscle group to muscle group, allowing you to keep your pump and keeping your working out at a steady pace. Alright, utilizing the row machine, we are going to do rows. Surprise, surprise. It works just about every muscle in your upper body, and I'm using the triangle thing right here to give you that equal grip and allow that perfect seamless squeeze for your chest, tris, back, and shoulders. This one is an awesome exercise. You'll see in a little bit here that on the wide shot that my knees are just about locked but not fully locked. Again, they have a little bit of an angle to reduce that pressure on your knees. This is just a back view right here. You can see that it really activates the back muscles really well. It gets a serious pump in your back. It gives you that overall large look in your back that everyone seems to have the desire for. These ones, I'm doing a deadlift variation where you lean all the way forward with a straight back and pull it all the way back, utilizing your lower back, middle back, and that same row motion to get a dynamite squeeze pretty much everywhere over your upper body. It's a good one. It's an awesome variation to throw in. These ones right here are chest flies. They're an awesome one to throw in. They utilize the double cable machine, and luckily in my gym, not a lot of people like to use this. I think it's a really underrated machine, but it gets an awesome pump throughout your biceps, triceps, and chest. This one right here, I have 90 on each side, and I'm focusing on getting that really uniform lift. And what you want to do is focus on getting those arms to move up equally to the middle and shine away from activating a lot of that bicep in a curling motion. Common beginner mistakes on this one are pushing through with your hips and legs. You want to isolate this movement to your upper body and utilize only your legs and feet for a stable platform to do the exercise on with minimal involvement from either one of them. The more progressive of an angle you choose to do these on will spread the pump to different areas of your pec. Continuing with that pump in the pecs, we're going to do incline shoulder extensions, and these are sort of a mix between an incline bench and a outright military press, but they definitely keep the pump coming up in those pecs and shoulders. I like this one. Not every gym's going to have this machine, If you have to, use a military press or a steep incline press. This one gets a serious pump in the upper and side pec, definitely on your triceps and biceps as well. As you can see, the top part of my lat even activates as the weight comes down just to stabilize it. I'm sure you've seen the horror shows on YouTube about people locking out their elbows on this exercise. I tell you, do a soft lock at the top and keep that pressure off your elbow. Getting into dips, one of my favorite exercises. It's an equalizer on people who think they're strong versus people who have the correct strength to weight ratio. This is all about how much you can lift versus how much you weigh. And with this one, the really only considerations are making sure you don't lock out that elbow super hard and going too low to where it activates your shoulder and chest in a sort of survival mode to get your body back up. These ones are an old school exercise for a reason. They will absolutely develop your arms, shoulders, back, and chest. They're sort of a prison workout, but I like doing them. They absolutely explode your tricep, and they're one that you should definitely throw in. I say favorite a lot in these videos, but this one is my absolute favorite, and that is pull-ups. And this is the golden exercise for strength to weight ratio. It's utilizing the double cable machines, little upper bar here. I use 3 grips, a wide, narrow, and a middle grip. The first one you saw there was the wide grip. This one is the narrow. I didn't show the middle because they're pretty much generally the same. This is the back view, allows you to get a really good idea of what muscles are being activated. You can obviously see the lat, shoulder, biceps, even forearms. Kipping is okay for your getting your last 2 or 3, but try to do these standard. They will transform your body.
Yo, what's up guys? We are finished with upper body. I'm probably going to throw in a lot more than I said I was. I had a really good workout. I got a really good pump on a lot of the workouts, and I felt like if you're a beginner, you definitely want to see these, so I threw them in. Just a secondarily note, if you see the band I'm wearing, it's Fueled by Doubt. Now they're a small company on Twitter and Facebook that likes to sponsor the underdog. Make sure you take a look at the link in my description below. They're a definite company you want to look out for. They hooked me up with swag, and they're going to continue to hook me up with swag because after all, I'm the underdog, and that's what they're looking out for. Make sure to take them out. Again, they're Fueled by Doubt. I'll link them in the description below. Let me know if you want to see anything different, or if you want to see maybe an in-depth explanation of a certain one. Hit me up in the comments, hit me up on Twitter. All the time I'm monitoring my phone, except when I'm at work, because just like you guys, I do the work grind, I do the school grind, and I do the gym grind. But I appreciate you guys for watching, and as always, take it easy.